Hey everyone, I just quickly wanted to talk about the Auston Matthews hate online right now, and specifically on X, Twitter. It's getting out of hand in my opinion. I know that this guy struggled at times earlier this season in the NHL regular season and at times at the international stage, but we're talking about a guy that scored 69 goals in the NHL in the regular season in today's modern era. And I just think it's kind of becoming one of those trends just to jump on. I know it's easy to get on Leaf fans. It's also easy to get Leaf fans' reactions. It's also easy to get Leaf haters on board with these types of interactions. So I get it. I honestly get the interaction part of it. But it's getting ridiculous because some people are just saying like washed and overrated and things like that just to get a rise. But there are also the legit accounts that are really kind of feeding into it. So you can just kind of take a look on X. Like there's just a lot of those conversations. And I was going to say, I pulled up one that I saw where it was like Matthews talking about he's just not it. But yeah, this is one of the articles from Mark Lazarus that really got a rise out of people. Is like, will the real Auston Matthews please stand up? Here in Milan, on the world's biggest stage, the American captain can reestablish his lost place in the hockey hierarchy. And I just feel like lost place in the hockey hierarchy. Like, have the U.S. done something recently in terms of international, like outside of World Juniors, outside of, like, I just think we're forgetting what's happening here. And at the end of the day, let's talk about the top decision-making. Team USA left Caulfield at home. They left Jason Robertson at home. So unless they win, those are going to be major conversations. And, like, that's, like, the massive if. I think U.S. is good enough that they could win. But you're leaving those what-ifs if you don't, when you're leaving those highly skilled players, and then you're blaming the captain, Auston Matthews. So Zach, a Leaf fan, of course, is commenting back, how do you write an article like this and not even mention that he's been playing with 2 third-liners all year long? The big conversation that people do forget is, obviously, Marner left, and Matthews has still been putting up close to a point per game. And since the new year, he's been putting up over a point per game in the NHL. He's been playing with Bobby McMahon and Max Domi, and no slight against those guys, but if a lot of non-Leaf fans are going to criticize those guys and criticize what they have there, you can't be doing the same on the Auston Matthews level because, I mean, you're recognizing that he is not surrounded by great players on his line. Obviously, Marner's gone. I knew that would take a hit on some of his production, but you talk about playoffs, you talk about big games, there's different conversations here. So I will say, I thought Auston Matthews was fine in that game. He ends up scoring the power play goal. It wasn't even a perfect pass from Eichel. It was honestly a bit of a bounce off the stick, and then Matthews did his Matthews thing. So some of these replies are kind of funny. But like then some tweets like this is crazy bait. And talking about how Matthews doesn't want to support his country and play for his country and win for his country. So, and then Jordy here with an all-time flip after. But I'm very excited to be proven wrong at some point here over the next few days. But Auston Matthews does absolutely nothing for me. And guys, that is a bigger account. It's replicated through so many accounts that I saw pop up on my For You or different people sending me messages. Like, this has been getting out of control quite a bit. So I wanted to make the point of saying, I think, have your fun. I think Matthews at some point in his career, like all the great scorers in this game, prove at some point that whether their team wins or they perform big in big moments, perform big in big runs. So again, I think Auston, whether it's on the Olympic stage or with the Leafs, it's kind of ironic because people talk about the Leafs choking the playoffs. Then it's probably Auston Matthews' opportunity to do something in the Olympics. And when you go back to the Four Nations, I know it's excuses, what ifs, but Binnington made 2 unreal saves, like ridiculous saves, where Auston Matthews in another universe and in a multiverse, Auston Matthews scores that winning goal in overtime for Four Nations, and Binnington doesn't stand on his head and make ridiculous saves in that overtime and towards the end of the game. And Auston Matthews is the American hero. But it's a complete flip where you're going into a game against Latvia, and because you're not blowing them out, I think it was tied at the time when a lot of these tweets were also rolling in. And then they end up winning, what, like 5-1? I think it was the final. So Auston Matthews gets on the board. I think he's just going to get confidence as the tournament goes on. You saw it in the regular season as well. Auston Matthews, of course, Didn't have a great start. A lot of people, you guys want to find tweets that are really aggressive and out there, go look at like November tweets on Auston Matthews' name because they were getting out of hand. Where now you look at it, he's, like I said, been over a point per game in 2026, and he's looking a lot more dominant. So whether it was injury related or maybe he was doing some load management stuff to try to heat up for 2026 and get into the playoffs, they've kind of put themselves in a bad spot on the Leafs side, but if they can get some momentum here and squeeze in as a wild card, maybe it's actually better to play that way and carry that momentum in versus the comfortable division spots they've been in past years. So on the U.S. conversation, the Olympic conversation, we'll see how Auston Matthews does. But I thought that was an interesting conversation. So please comment your thoughts. Subscribe on this channel, John Viveros, and on the Hot Take Hockey channel. I hope you guys can help grow this channel as well as a channel I want to maybe move forward and do more on. And hit that like button and notification bell. Thanks, everyone. Peace.